When somebody asks you this question, tell me about yourself, what they want to know is a short description of yourself professionally. Your expertise, your experience, sort of things that you can do, the results that you can achieve. It's about that. And if they probe that question and say, tell me more, they're interested in the sort of person you are at work, how you handle stress, how you deal with colleagues, how you organise yourself. If you're asked the strengths question, a lot of people just describe that they're patient and they're dedicated and they're focused. They're very generic things. It's better in a question like this to tell the employer what are the sort of things you know about, the sort of problems you can solve, what are the skills that you have, what are the sort of things that you're particularly talented or gifted at. The weakness question is not about personal weaknesses. It's about things that you've got feedback on and that you've improved, about things you're not particularly comfortable about but can manage well. The differentiation question is about something that you've done or something that you know that other people haven't had the same exposure to, like a language skill or an alternative way of doing a computer package or something where in a previous employment or wherever they did a different way of doing things. Because once an employer's got a differentiator, they can remember you. In an interview, when you're asked the why should we give you the job question, what is needed here is 4 or 5 points that will help the employer make the decision on your behalf. Imagine they're going to tell their boss, we found this brilliant person, he's got this, that and the other, he's got these qualifications, I'd love to hire him. You're writing the script for that. So it's what you know, what you can do, where you've been, the results you've achieved. Everybody groans when you ask them the 5-year question, but it's a very powerful question because you're being asked, do you know where the company's going? Do you know where your industry's going? Do you know how your job will change over time? Have you thought ahead? Are you the sort of person who can see trends and changes in your particular field? If you're really well plugged into your field and you've done your research properly, you'll be very clear what are the up and coming changes and how your role will change as a result. Most people run away from this question, but if you face it square on, you can really make a difference in an interview with this one. If you're asked why the work interests you, the employer really wants to know, are you a person who is looking for a job or are you looking for a career? If you're looking for a career is about something that you're really interested in, that you want to grow in, that you want to learn more about, and that you want to move upwards in. So this is a really key one. If you're asked how your colleagues describe you, you're really being asked about your company reputation. So it's a good opportunity to tell an employer that you were known as the expert on this or the person to call on for that particular system or solving that problem. Make it professional. I'm frequently asked the question by people who've been out of work a long time, what can I say to an employer? What can I say to an employer that will help get a job, particularly if been out of workforce for a long time? Well, you can tell an employer if you've done voluntary work, if you've done a course, if you've actually done things like reorganised or repainted your house. An employer wants to know, can you be proactive? Can you be disciplined? Have you a good routine? When you're asked this question, you have a number of choices. 1. Damage limitation. If you felt you missed a key piece of information earlier on in the interview, you can say, by the way, when I was talking about computer skills, I forgot to mention that I have ECDL level 2 as well as level 1. Another thing that you can do is you can briefly summarize the case for the job. Saying something like, not particularly, I'm offering myself this job because I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Another thing that you can do is to land a differentiator. For example, you might say, well, I spent 2 years in Germany, so I'm bilingual in this area, and that might help in this work. Or the other thing that you can do, which I think is really effective, is just to pause for a moment and say, no, I can't think of anything else. Thank you very much for the opportunity of doing this interview. Because what will happen there is the interviewer sees that you're confident, you're well prepared, and you're prepared to leave it up to them. But finish positively.